What's going on, fragrance family? It's your man Gator, better known as the Novice Nose out here in these fragrance streets. Today, guys, I'm excited about this one, man, just because of the wearing experience I had when I was testing this particular fragrance. I'm coming to you guys with a review of Fragrance World, or should I say French Avenue's newest drop here. This is Fragrance World or French Avenue, and I think they actually have it labeled as French Avenue. French Avenue's Fierte. So look at that bottle, man. Look at that. It's got a wolf at the top of this thing, or a fox or something like that. All I know is that I think Fierte in Italian or Spanish means gaudy ass bottle top, because this is crazy. This is a crazy top. Normally I would have done an unboxing on this one, but I'm gonna say one thing before I even get into the review. French Avenue tends to be very creative as far as the way that they drop their boxes and how they box those particular fragrances to, you know, make it look nice and, you know, kind of just a you know, interesting presentation. The presentation on this one sucks, and the reason why it sucks is because it literally, every box that I have seen that has been delivered of this top is gone somewhere off in the box, and the box is like sealed to a point where you have to literally rip the outside jacket off of it just to get into the box. Rethink your boxing on this fragrance here, French Avenue. Please rethink your boxing. But this is, and that's why I don't have a box. I literally had to rip it open to get to the fragrance here. So that's the worst thing that I will say about this fragrance, the whole review. Spoiler alert on this. So this is again from French Avenue. It's one of their newest releases here, the Fierte. I think it's pronounced Fierte. This is actually a inspiration of YSL's Babycat. Now, Babycat's been done a few times here in the last couple of years. One of the more popular versions of Babycat out there is a fragrance called Rifaaqat from Emir, Paris Corner Emir. Really nice. That is a compliment monster. It is really close to the DNA of Babycat, man, and it's not $500 like the actual Babycat fragrance is, so it's definitely something that a lot of people felt was worth picking up. So I've seen a couple other brands try to put out you know, inspirations, but they were nowhere close to what Babycat was. And then they dropped this. French Avenue dropped this. Now, French Avenue, for the most part, man, is usually spot on with their inspiration. So when I saw it, I was like, oh, let me give that a try. Let me see what's going on with that. So I'm not even going to hold y'all anymore. Let me get into the notes of this fragrance. So top notes on this are incense, tobacco, saffron, elemi, cedar, and spices are the mid notes. And then the base notes are vanilla, tonka, and benzoin. So it's very similar to the note breakdown of Babycat. They integrate the tobacco and incense, and I guess that's to kind of go into like a little bit of a replacement of the what they would call it gaiac in the original Babycat. But and then they have the saffron in here too. So, and the tobacco's different. So I was like, okay, the note breakdown is a little dissimilar, but you can't always judge by the note breakdown of a fragrance, because sometimes they can marry notes and make it resemble whatever they want to resemble in this. So I'm gonna get a little spray, and I'm actually gonna put this on skin too. So this particular fragrance opens up, and you get the spices. You get that woodiness. You get the saffron in here, and I don't really sense it as tobacco, so I think they married those notes in there very, very well, because you don't really pick up any tobacco in here, or if you do, it's like the slightest tinge that helps to bring out that saffron and spice, and you can start feeling that vanilla playing right into the intro. This legitimately is Babycat at the intro of this particular fragrance. I think Babycat is a little, and the couple of times that I've had the good graces to actually put my nose on it, think Babycat at the top is a little bit brighter, just a tad bit brighter, but for the most part, man, they really nailed it going into the intro of this particular fragrance. So one of the things that I like about this particular fragrance is that with certain other interpretations of Babycat, you get a lot more of that saffron in there. Now, saffron's a great note, but what it does is it kind of gives it more of a little bit of more of an aggressive, peppery type of nuance when you first come into the fragrance. This one, while it does have that saffron nuance, it also feels like it tones it back a little bit, and you get to enjoy the way that the vanilla and that woodiness kind of comes in. So I feel like it's a lot smoother on the intro than some of the other interpretations of Babycat that I've actually smelled, and that's what makes me feel like this one nailed that intro to Babycat a little bit better than some of the other ones, because it's smooth. It's very, very smooth. It goes all the way in smooth. So as you start to catch it, and I'm getting it now, it's whiffs, and I want to get it off skin. You, like I said, you definitely get the saffron, but as soon as it gets on the skin, you start feeling that little bit of resonance. You know, I have a problem with that word. That resonance starting to kind of well up there, and you're getting that beautiful vanilla that starts to kind of creep in there. And so well, it was already in the intro, but it really starts to kind of palpitate a little bit more and starts to grow. So you start getting more of that elemi and vanilla that's kind of rearing its head to kind of marry into those woods. It is a beautiful marriage, the way that it goes in, and it really is very, very reminiscent, if not dead on, to the way that Babycat actually plays when it gets on skin. Now, I will say that Babycat's a little bit more potent. Like, it's a little bit more of a stronger push. Like, everything that I just said to describe Fierte, it's Babycat. But Babycat's just stronger, and I think it's because of the higher quality oils that they're using. But again, this is a $500 fragrance as compared to a $35 fragrance. So those oils are going to be stronger. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not lacking in any way on quality, because these oils that they're using, they feel luxurious. You get this really high quality scents when you're actually, as just is in the air. And right now, this is really starting to push. So you're getting the spices right now, and this is maybe about 5 minutes in. You're getting the spices, you're getting the elemi, you're getting the vanilla that's peeking its way in, you're getting the wood, and it's not like one thing is popping out and it's all out. There's perfectly balanced in there. And that's one of the things I really like about this fragrance and the way it presents as compared to some of the other ones that are out there. There are a couple of them out there that do try, but they get saffron heavy, and so you end up getting a little bit more of a peppery nuance that's kind of going on. That's just because that saffron is bumping and accentuating those spices. This one is actually really smooth, and then you start getting into a little bit of that powderiness as it gets into like that 30-minute mark to 45-minute mark, but it still stays really, really smooth. It kind of almost, this is one that pretty much stays linear and doesn't get into the more like wood, strictly wood nuance until probably around hour 3.5 to 4 on this. But even then, you still pick up those pops of vanilla. It's still got this ambery touch to this particular fragrance during that time. It's got a and I think it's that benzoin that's kind of pushing that vanilla on way down into the dry down. So you're the whole way through, you're consistently getting the vanilla, you're consistently getting the wood, you're consistently getting all of those elements in such the most beautifully linear way. So you don't have any type of thing where it's kind of developing into something that's gonna turn into just wood or just smoke or just, it's beautifully blended. It reminds me so much of my experience that I had with Babycat. The only difference is if Babycat's at a 100 as far as like the power level, this would be at like that 80 as far as the power level goes. And in other words, that spray that I put on just now of that, this would be a lot stronger if it was the actual OG, but the smoothness, the way it presents, all of those other aspects of it are basically the same. This fragrance I wore in testing a couple of days here, and over the 2 days that I wore it, I started counting after 4. I got somewhere in the range of about 9 different compliments from people saying, oh my gosh, that smells really, really good. I love the way that thing trails on you, because I would walk by places and it lingers in the air. The sillage on this stuff is beautiful, right? So people would comment like, hey, that's good. What are you wearing today? That is awesome. And they know me for wearing fragrances around the office, but even people in the office who are used to me bringing that vibe to the office were like, man, that's different. I love that. Now, these are people who experienced me wearing Rifaaqat last year. So that kind of goes to show you that this one is a strong contender, if not the winner. And I'm going to go put them head to head soon as far as which one is the better interpretation of that Babycat DNA. I am very pleased with this. If I wanted to break it down into the numbers, this lasts somewhere in the range of about 8 to 9 hours on skin. On me, on clothes, this lasts into the next day, into laundry day. So if you put it on clothes, know it's gonna be there. It's definitely gonna be there. As far as the sillage goes, man, it's going to kind of sit in the air everywhere that you walk. And it's gonna sit there for a while. So just know when you pass by people, they're going to smell you. Your projection on this thing is probably about arm's length here for the first 3 to 4 hours. It kind of shrinks into being like a 1 to 2 foot projection, probably within that 5 to 6 hour mark, somewhere in that range. So it definitely projects pretty well. On this one, I will say that you're getting a good bit of sillage throughout the life of the fragrance. Even when you think it's a skin scent, trust me, it's not, because I've had people that, you know, I would like, you know, maybe 6 feet away from them, 5 to 6 hours in, and they were like, oh man, you smell good. What is that? So it's definitely there. I am super impressed with this particular fragrance. This bottle sucks, I will say that. I think you saw the sprayer just now. Sprayer is, it's okay. You know, it's an okay sprayer. The bottle itself, though, sucks. I mean, this is just, it's just gaudy. Some people would call this a work of art. I would call this something that, you know, looks like it should be on a trophy case somewhere. But I will say that the fragrance inside is worth dealing with this weird presentation. It is an amazing fragrance. I love it, man. And like I said, you can get it for around $35 here on you know, most discount sites that carry it. I know fragrancebuy.ca has it, man. If you have the chance, and we're going into the fall months, this is gonna be on my fall fragrance to watch for list that I'm gonna be putting out next week. Man, make sure that if you see it, make sure you can get your hands on it, man, because I think this is going to be one of the most talked about fall bangers and winter bangers, actually, because I think it's got enough energy to cut through the cold. I think this is going to be one of those fragrances that we talk about here going into next season. That's all I got for you guys today, man. Make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone you know that loves fragrances, man. In the meantime, that's all I got for you guys today. Peace out. This is beautiful. The fragrance, I mean, the bottle is ugly as shit. The fragrance is beautiful.